The Simpson Desert, on most four-wheel drivers' bucket list. Now in this series, we attempt to take 5 vehicles across from Mount Dare to Birdsville, along the Madigan line. The centre of Australia has copped a lot of rain over the last couple of weeks, closing a lot of roads. Now we were lucky enough with our timing, where the roads had just reopened. Now the route we were proposing to take was over 800 kilometres. So you can imagine food, fuel and water. Now we'd planned to spend 7 days to do this crossing. The Convoy of 5, an LN106, a 300 series towing a Patriot camper, a 200 series towing a Patriot camper, my 79 with the 4-cylinder auto, and an 80 series. Carnage. Now there's a couple of ways to go across the Simpson. The French line being the more popular. It's about 250 to 300 kilometres less. But we wanted to push ourselves and see if we could do the less travelled, I'm not going to say more difficult, but we needed more time. And being less travelled, it becomes more remote, less cars coming through. So with big adventures like this, things don't always go to plan all the time. So we have a few dramas here and there. That's a carpenter's drill bit, isn't it? All right, everyone, we are in all sorts. Have a look at that plug. The boys have got the tank out. Oh no, we've got a car out of fuel. 2 Ks from lunch, and he's out of fuel. But it's an epic trip, and I hope you enjoy all the parts coming up. Now we knew we had our job cut out for us with all the rain that they'd gotten in the area. We waited for the roads to open. Now in this series we're going to have little comparisons. We're going to have the 300 versus the 200. Who towed better?
All right, ready?
Hang on. Okay, so what we got here, we got the 300. Go, we've got a false start by the 200. Oh no, they're having a race. Look at this. Oh, the 200, look at this, the 300 wins. Who used what fuels? And then when the boys did unhitch, I come into the mix. I want to play with the big V8 and the big V6 in my little 4-cylinder. Yeah, you got it, easy, easy, yeah. We needed to cross Lake Eyre, because there's no way we were going to have enough fuel to do the 70-odd K detour to the north. We had a big RC competition. Well, save it, come back. Yeah! And most nights, there was a cook-off. And where we'll start is this is going to be part 1 as we leave home. So all this gear is going to be on the roof rack for 4 days. 4 days of travelling. We won't be pulling this off until we hit Mount Dare. A lot of rain around and forecast for the time we're travelling. The last thing we want when we pull up at the Mount Dare Hotel are wet swags. Where's your caravan? This is your lunch break.
I missed it.
So we're in Narandra, and first official stop. We got 14 litres per 100 from Maroubra to Narandra, and we're povos having lunch off a $2 table. But tasty. Is it tasty, kids?
Yeah.
Awesome. So that's our pantry for the trip, and then our fridge. And I'll show you the wardrobe later when we move a fair bit of stuff. So I'm used to the ute life, but the question is, can we do a trip of this magnitude in an open ute? You think about it, dust, rain, mud, how will this all pan out? What I have noticed since I did the anti-rusting underneath, I feel that the liquid has gone into the bushes and now it's dried up and the rubber bush doesn't like it.
That does not sound good.
We've got quite a bit of air in the airbags too. Maybe if I take it out. Check that out for some entertainment. I've had to pull over. The spring noise is driving us insane. So I know it's not the ideal fix, but I'm going to try it. The P26 from Penrite. I'm just going to spray the bushes and hopefully it can sink in to the pin. I haven't got anything else and we're in the middle of nowhere. So we left the Jayco at home only to be staying in one. Look, Jayco. And that spray temporarily has fixed the noisy bushes. So first night of the trip, we're at Balranard Caravan Park on the Murrumbidgee River. And yeah, we've splurged and we're in the Jayco cabin. I didn't want to pull the swags out after that 10-hour ordeal. Which, you know what, it wasn't actually an ordeal, it's a pleasure to drive that 4-cylinder automatic. Oh, what a feeling! Toyota! The old Spinifex gets a rest tonight. We're going to do the corn inside. Corn was the entree, and after 10 hours behind the steering wheel, it's kind of like a pub meal too. So this is leftover pizza. Day 2, 7:30 a.m, 6 degrees, heading for the border. A quick stop in Mildura, and now heading for another border. Have you been forced to have an early lunch?
Yes.
Otherwise we would have had to get rid of these beautiful vegetables. Get out of the vehicle.
It's so cold. Stay in the car.
So while we're here having lunch and throwing our veggies out, Sandy and the girls in the 80. And look at the Lux! Yeah. So yeah, it's not by chance, it was a planned trip. We were going to meet them this afternoon. What's happening, lads? Fancy seeing you this far from home.
Yeah, the Hilux is in front where it belongs.
Oh, you were in front, that's all you wanted. So yeah, we're always planning this trip with Brian and his family, and there's another 2 families that we're meeting in Mount Dare.
Woo! South Australia.
South Australia!
Look in our fridge.
Bring on the desert! Tonight's destination is Port Augusta. We made it. Huge day. Oh, look at him. Been sitting in a car all day. Second night in a row that the Spinifex hasn't been needed. Morning 3, and we leave Port Augusta, heading for Coober, Pedy. The rest break, driver swap for the 2 red Toyotas. Just happen to be some perfectly placed rocks here for his Capra.
Hey, you looking right to come around now, mate?
Thank you, sir. You have a good one.
You too, mate.
Alright, we're on a rescue mission. Alright, they're going to have to come down, and we're going to have to get Brian off the road because he's run out of diesel. Brian's setup is he's got a massive dual tank in the rear. We're good. So all they had to do was switch it and manually do it. After that little scare, we arrive in Coober, Pedy, where we plan to spend a couple of nights. This is going to be different. It's a long way to drag all our luggage and angle down. Alright, dun dun dun. Oh, check it out.
Take this bed. Yeah, take this bed. This one's.
That's cool. Well, it's not like you come to Coober, Pedy often, so we thought we'd
Off my bed.
treat ourselves
That's right.
to an underground motel room. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
A trolley? That's not camping. We're off for a sunset. Big winch 360. No, it's not a recovery. It's a restaurant. And we're going to be having a sunset dinner. Lazy day in Coober, Pedy. We're having a rest day. Get ready for our drive out to Mount Dare. We're going to visit a Serbian Orthodox church. We get to visit a working opal mine. And there's that red Hilux that keeps following us everywhere. If you don't see these people alive again, you know where to come.
Bye.
So this is Tom's opal mine. Paul, the owner, a very passionate and knowledgeable man. He's done a lot of work in Coober, Pedy, including the dig out of our hotel. I highly recommend this tour if you're visiting Coober, Pedy. We all walked away with a lot more knowledge of mining in general, not just Coober, Pedy. I'd say Brian had a good sleep. So this is me at 4 a.m. trying to get some grease into these bushes. We picked up some rubber grease from a local mechanic. Wow, what a stunning day. We're leaving Coober, Pedy. And what we're going to do, we've just topped up all our fluids again. I spent a bit of time doing the bushes. And what we're going to do now is I think we're going to leave the total average for now until we get to Mount Dare. And we're at 17 litres per 100 to get from Sydney to Coober, Pedy. So we take off the 1.7 and we're at 15.3. So I'm happy enough with that. We're quite heavy and we'll be in Mount Dare hopefully in 6 hours time. We're coming out of the Pink Roadhouse. What'd you get?
Chocolate. But I
Pink ice cream. So this is our spot for one night, the Mount Dare Hotel. And you know what? The bags are dry. So if the bags are dry and the zipper's dry, you should have been a carpenter. And quick as a flash, camp's made. So first night in the swags, and the Spinifex comes out for a coffee. And we've met up with the other two families. We've got Drew and his family in the 200 and Evan and his family in the 300, both towing little Patriot campers. So those two families, they've come down from Alice Springs to meet up with us here at Mount Dare Hotel. So we've got to have enough fuel on board now for the vehicles to do over 800 kilometres. So we're going to zero the trip meter. We've run it 15.5 litres the whole way up. And now we're going to be sweating, I guess, to not go over 25 litres per 100 at all, because then we run out of fuel. So stay tuned, part 2 coming up, where we enter the unknown. I hope you enjoyed this one, and as always, thanks for watching.